Good evening, everybody. This is Ron Tyler with Emergency Management Associates coming to you live from the Crossroads of the West in Salt Lake City, Utah. The time right now is 6:03 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Sunday. On Sunday, 02/02/2020, February 2nd, 2020. Figure that out. We have a history of twos. 02/02/2020. Incredible, incredible. But we are here. We're here live on the air with you, and we are glad we are here with you today. It has been a pretty good day today. We have been fairly busy with a lot of things. We have checked on Cascadia. We have checked on earthquakes of the day, and we've also been involved in putting together information on the coronavirus. As you guys can well imagine, we've been pretty busy with this, and it's not going to stop. We have more information on that, and we will be giving it to you in just about a minute here. We're just finishing pulling up the chat. We should be live on the air with you right now, which I think we are. It looks like we are. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure that everybody's here. We want to welcome everybody that's in the chat and that is also going to be joining us later tonight and on a delayed broadcast basis another day. So we want to welcome you all here. Thank you for joining us. Melanie, thank you for being here. Melissa, Kev, Barb, CJ's here. Robin's here. Let's see who else is here. It says we have 13 people in the chat, and that's all right. We'll have a lot more before it's all said and done tonight. But we want to welcome everybody that is here with us tonight. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, we have a lot of information to give you in regards to what is going on with the coronavirus. And I think that's where we're going to start tonight. The other night, I told you guys, because I was told that there was no test for this virus. There indeed is a test. They test for the flu. They test for signs of the flu. They look at you and see if you have sputum running out of your nose, see if you're coughing. They do a blood test to see if you have flu antibodies, is what they're looking for. And so there is somewhat of a test, but it's not 100% reliable. It's not 100% reliable. They are putting people in quarantine or asking people to commit themselves to home quarantine. In other words, staying home. The United States officials have made it a policy so far, if someone is diagnosed with possibly having the coronavirus, they're saying or asking those people to stay at home. And the DHS secretary, the Department of Defense secretary, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, and the Department of Transportation secretary have said that they're considering ankle bracelets, which would be getting very expensive very quick, considering what this virus has already done. We have quite a few confirmed cases just here in the United States by themselves. Just in the United States, we have 100 cases under observation. 100 cases under observation. We have a cruise ship off the coast that's quarantined. We have a total now, as of early this morning, we had 14,637 infected cases in China, and supposedly 443 of those cases were recovered. However, we now have a total of 16,577 confirmed cases of the flu. We have 360 dead, including one person in the Philippines. Like I said, we have 100 cases in the United States under observation for anywhere from 3 to 14 days. We have one man in New York City in Bellevue Hospital that has been confirmed to have been infected with the coronavirus. He contaminated his wife, and both of them seem to be in fairly decent condition as of earlier this afternoon. But we have one man in the hospital at Bellevue Hospital in New York being observed for the coronavirus, and it is confirmed that he has it. We have 5 people in Germany. We have over 19,544 suspected cases of the virus worldwide now. I told you a little bit ago, it was 16,577. The number has now jumped up to 19,544 people that were suspected of having the coronavirus. In Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Hospital and Health Department is now saying that they have 8 people that are victims of the coronavirus. These people that are victims of the coronavirus got it after having traveled to Wuhan, China, and then coming back here. So that's how that has happened. So we have quite a number of cases of people having the coronavirus, and it cannot be understated. This cannot be understated. And I want to make that very clear. We are not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. We are not out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. It is continuing. We have people over at March Air Force Base, I believe, that are under quarantine right now. I believe it's over 150 people on quarantine right now. March Air Force Base in Orange County, California, Southern Orange County, California, Air Base. And we have confirmation that there's another air base that is being outfitted right now to take quarantined individuals that have been contaminated with the coronavirus. The United States government and the United States military is very serious about what is going on and how they are handling the cases of the coronavirus. It cannot be understated as to the seriousness of this sickness. It is killing people. And I also had some sad news today. I have confirmed it, that the Chinese government has ordered dogs and cats to be killed. Has ordered dogs and cats to be killed in case they were to get the virus or possibly can already have the virus, because allegedly the dogs and cats were spreading the virus, allegedly. There are videos of people clubbing animals over the head and body, killing their own pets because they don't want the Chinese government to do it. But we have confirmation of all of this manslaughter, animal slaughter, and it's completely ridiculous. It angers me. It really does. This whole thing could be handled 100% better. I'm sure of it. The Chinese government has been handling this in my opinion, very inappropriately, because what they are doing, from what we have escaped, or videos that have escaped from China and are now being aired, is that they are actually taking bodies or people and burning them, incinerating them, and putting them in mass graves. We don't know whether any of these people have had the virus or have the virus, but we are being told that people are being cremated possibly even to cover up the numbers of people that actually either have or have had the virus. So this is very serious. I don't want to understate that, as I've said. I'm very serious. Um, Laura says she's heard they're throwing them off buildings. I don't know. I just don't know. It's disgusting. There's no respect for life, whether it be people or animals, as BJ says. And I believe, BJ, you are right. I'm totally disgusted by this lack of humanity, this lack of humanity. And that's what it amounts to. That's what it amounts to. Um, and Kevy says it'd be a cold day in hell before they or someone kills his dog. I totally agree. There would be war. There would be war in the case if someone tried to come and take my dog or kill my dogs, um, or hurt my family. Yeah, I'm not going to allow it. Kev in the chat has said, has anyone seen the video with person walking down the road and falls flat on their face? No, I haven't, but I have seen videos of people lying in the street, either suffering or dead. That I have seen. Barb is asking a good question. Why are some medical officials saying that quarantine and stopping flights won't help like we think? Why is that? Because there are already people that have immigrated from China and or they have flown from China after the Chinese New Year. And before this outbreak was announced, these people came into the United States and came into other countries, and now they're sick. Or some of them are sick and don't even know it. Again, as we stated the other day in a video we put together, you can have this virus from anywhere from 3 to 14 days, and you may or may not even know that you're carrying it. And once you are infected with it, you are infected other people. You are infecting other people. That's why quarantine and stopping flights won't necessarily help like we think. It will slow it down. It will slow it down. But there are already people here that are contaminated and they're infecting other people as well. The San Francisco Office of Emergency Management, the EOC, has been operational for about a week now, and several other emergency operations centers have also opened their doors to essential personnel so that they can keep a tab on what is going on, so they can keep and try to help their communities control this virus and quarantine this virus and hopefully recover their communities. Now, there was talk yesterday, I saw a video late last night that they were saying that this is overblown, that nobody knows what they're talking about, and people like myself in the alternative media are blowing this up out of proportion, and we don't know what we're talking about. We do know what we're talking about. It's the elites that are trying to cover it up. And in fact, there was another issue that I was made aware of this morning, and I'll read it to you. I have no problem reading it to you because it is disgusting what these people think that they can just get away with. I'm disgusted. I'm completely and honestly disgusted about the dissemination of information and the outright lies that we are being told about what is going on. Let me try to find this. Okay. Again, I want to go over these numbers real quick. 16,577 people are infected. 360 people have died, and we have one confirmed case of one person passing away in the Philippines, the first case of coronavirus to pass away outside of China. There are 2,110 people reported to be in serious condition. 408 victims have recovered, supposedly, and a total of 19,544 suspected cases. Okay, that's what we have right now. California reports another case of coronavirus, the ninth in the United States. Santa Clara County is the second case. Santa Clara County, California, up near Los Angeles. Okay. I got information earlier this morning from surgery, and I'm looking for it right now. Here it is. This is the information reported by the Texas News Network, TNS. MSM, meaning mainstream media, tries to suppress evidence that HIV delivery system is embedded in the virus. It is proven. It is proven, and MSM is trying to stop people from finding out about it. They're denying it. They're among the elites that are denying it and trying to suppress the information. HIV is a part of this virus. It was engineered that way. Again, as I stated the other day, this is a viral, weaponized virus. This is a viral, weaponized virus. It can't be understated there either. The coronavirus scientific study finds the virus doesn't come from bats. As I stated yesterday, it does not come from bats. And now we also have a news report. It doesn't come from bats. Panic is manifesting itself in Hong Kong because of the outbreaks in the coronavirus. Self-sustaining outbreaks in major world cities seems inevitable, according to the news here. The World Health Organization has said that all countries should prepare for local outbreaks as the Pentagon increases quarantine housing here in the United States. Again, the military has now been preparing military bases to quarantine individuals. And I hate even saying that. I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like what is going on, but they are doing their best to try to keep a handle on what is happening here in the United States. Jeannie Long says the attack on the American citizens is multifaceted. You're absolutely right. It is. And as I stated before, the coronavirus is a weaponized viral virus. It contains HIV, which attacks the body going in and continues to attack the body. Okay? They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. And it does not come out of Canada. It does not come out of anywhere else but Russia. That's where this virus first came out of, is a lab in Russia. Okay? So, and we've confirmed that. We've confirmed that. And Kev, yeah, this military quarantined area stinks of FEMA camp. Okay? It smacks of FEMA camp all over the place. I don't like it. I'll be quite honest with you, I don't like it. I'm concerned about it. I'm more than just concerned about it. But anyway, that's what's going on there. I wanted to bring you up to date as to what was going on with the coronavirus. Now, let's go over and talk about um, what is happening here in this country what's happening around the world for that matter with earthquakes. Okay, let's talk about that next. I'm going to show you a map as soon as I can bring it up here. Okay, I've done it. I've got the map here. I'm going to start here in the South Pacific. Okay, all earthquakes originate from the South Pacific. All earthquakes originate from the South Pacific. Okay, over here in Fiji, we had a 5.0 magnitude earthquake, approximately 240 kilometers, which is about 150, 160 miles southeast of Mombasa, Fiji. Now, this was a magnitude 5.0, was a large earthquake. However, this earthquake was also very deep, 558 kilometers deep, which equates, if you look at the depth to magnitude conversion chart that Bella and Rebecca put together a long time ago, that means we're going to have to add a 5.1 to a 5.2 onto this magnitude of earthquake, which means we're going to be looking for a 6.1 to a 6.2 earthquake coming out of this earthquake today in Fiji. Now, going west, we have a 4.9 in Lata, Solomon Islands today. So what does that tell us? 4.9, 5.0 in the Solomon Islands. We have a 5.0 in Fiji. That means we're going to have a fulcrum point probably over here in Vanuatu. If you look at my cursor here, my arrow, over here in Vanuatu is probably where we're going to see that 6.2 manifest itself. Okay, so that's what happened today there. I'm using the USGS map. I'm shortly going to go over and use the EMSC map as reported by the my earthquakes app on my phone because it's more accurate. But I want to touch on the larger earthquakes that have hit the earth today. Friday, when I was not able to do a broadcast, there were 10 5.0 or larger earthquakes all around the globe. There was one in Greece. There was another one in Romania. There was one here in Fiji. There was one over here in Vanuatu. There was another two over here in Indonesia. There was another one or two over in Japan. We had large earthquakes over in the Aleutian Islands. We had them everywhere and also over in Panama. Okay, we had 10 5.0 larger earthquakes. I wanted, like all get out, to be able to talk to you guys and show you where those earthquakes were. I don't think we're out of the woods yet. Yes, on Friday, we were coming out of, by all means, coming out of a planetary alignment. So we had electromagnetic radiation that was affecting us from the galaxy, from our own solar system, which was promulgating the earthquakes. Radiation of any kind helps heat up the plate, which causes more earthquakes. That is one of the reasons why we had the upslide of earthquakes on Friday. Now, we've got this one over here in Fiji. We've got this other one right over here in Manokwari, Indonesia today, a 5.0 there. Like I said, we have a 4.9, 5.0 over here in the Solomon Islands today. We have a 5.0 over here in central Indonesia. We also have a 4.3 down here in south central Indonesia. And this isn't all the earthquakes. not by any stretch. Again, the USGS says we have 71 earthquakes on the map. We have about 4,000 more than that. Excuse me, not 4,000 more than that. 4,000 times more than 71 earthquakes. Okay. Over here in China today, South Central China, we had a 5.2 magnitude quake in Zhejiang, China. I think that's how they pronounce it, Zhejiang, China. Over here in Chichishima, Japan, out here in the Izu Islands, Chichishima, Japan, we had a 4.5 today. Over in South Japan, Nazi, Japan, had a 4.7. Over here near Tokyo, 8 kilometers east-northeast of Fujikawachiko, Japan, we had a 4.8. And no, I don't speak Japanese. I probably just butchered the name of that town, and I want to apologize to our Japanese friends and to my personal friends in Japan for butchering the Japanese language. But I try. Not try to butcher, I try to speak and talk to you and show you where these earthquakes are in Japan and everywhere. Going north into the Kuril Islands today, we had a 4.4 magnitude earthquake. So far, nothing up here in Kamchatka. Nothing here in Kamchatka Peninsula area, fortunately. Let's go over, and before we go north, continue going north, let's go over here into Tajikistan, where we have a 4.2 magnitude quake shown there. USGS is also reporting an earthquake near Karpathos, Greece, which is just east of Crete, a 4.1 moderate quake there. Over in Western Turkey, we have a 4.2, 18 kilometers northeast of Akhisar. I think that's probably closer. Akhisar, Turkey. Again, I don't speak Turkish. So that's what they're reporting over there. And there's quite a few more. Before we leave the USGS map, however, I'm going to go over here to South America where we don't show any. But guess what? We have plenty of earthquakes here, and I'll show those to you in just a minute. Over here in the Galapagos Islands, west of Ecuador, we have a 4.6 magnitude earthquake, some 67 kilometers, approximately 50 miles northwest of Puerto Villamil, Ecuador. Going up into Central America, in Champerico, Guatemala, just off the coast of Guatemala, we had a 4.0, but even more off the coast, we had a 5.6 very large earthquake off the coast of Guatemala. This is approximately 65 miles southwest of Ocos, Guatemala. We've also had earthquakes over here in the Cayman Islands today. The Cayman Islands here. I'm going to try to open this up as far as I can right now to show you these quakes. And you can see that all three of these quakes is on the Cayman Ridge. The Cayman Ridge, the giant fault zone right here. We have a 4.1 here, 116 kilometers southwest of Georgetown, Cayman Islands. Just northwest of there, we have a 4.2, also 107 kilometers southwest of Georgetown, Cayman Islands. Going north and east, we have a 4.4 reported, 160 kilometers east of East End, Cayman Islands. Now, this is the location of the first reported large, huge earthquake. Remember the 7.7 earthquake over here in the Cayman Islands, just south of Cuba and north of Jamaica? And then we have these over here. These were 6s here. The 7s were over here between Jamaica and Cuba. But these were 6s, and now we're getting 4.4s here and down over here to the west. Fascinating, huh? Very fascinating. Now I'm going to go over here to Puerto Rico. North of the Dominican Republic, we have a 3.9, 4.0. Up here on the Cayman Ridge again. Up here on the Cayman Ridge, just north of the Dominican Republic. But look at what's going on here. We are still experiencing earthquakes over here just north of the Mona Passage. This body of water between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico is called the Mona Passage. Just northwest of there, of Puerto Rico, we have these earthquakes. And I have said before that these were probably aftershocks from the 6.3. But we're getting three, and the aftershock, the seismic value had diminished to 2s and 3s, and now we're back up to 3.9 and 4.0 earthquakes. This is a 3.3 northeast of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Yes, it's closer to the Dominican Republic than Puerto Rico, but it's still in that general area where we had the 6.3 earthquake. And it was like, what, 5 months ago? January, let's go August, September, October, November, December, January, 6 months ago, we had this earthquake. And usually these size earthquakes can continue with aftershocks up to a year or longer. So these may still be aftershocks from that 6.3. Here's a 3.0 there. We have a 3.2. This time they point it towards San Antonio, Puerto Rico, 78 kilometers, approximately 52 miles northwest of San Antonio, Puerto Rico. But it's a large swarm of earthquakes, folks. Look at this. It's a pretty good sized swarm of earthquakes. There's a 4.1 there and a 4.2 there. Pretty good sized swarm, huh? Now let's drop down here to southwest Puerto Rico. These are aftershocks of the 8.0 and 8.4 earthquakes, and they're still hitting. Here's a 2.9, 9 kilometers southeast of Toloboa, Puerto Rico. We have this 3.5 here. We have this 3.1, 3.1 there as well, 3.7, 4 kilometers, 2 miles north of Guayanilla, Puerto Rico there. Just off the coast over here, we have a 3.1. I'm sorry, I made those even larger there. A 3.0 there, and over here, northwest of everything, we have a 3.1. All of these earthquakes here are aftershocks of those two large earthquakes that seem to be back to back. One happened on a Tuesday a month ago, and one happened on a Friday right after that. And then right after that, the next day, we had another 8.0 up in Siberia, Russia. These two earthquakes here and the Siberian earthquake were orchestrated as a courtesy from the governments of the world. 3 different HAARP sites were responsible for those 3 earthquakes. Okay, so that's what's going on. This newest earthquake down here south of Puerto Rico was a 2.9, 9 kilometers southeast of Toloboa, Puerto Rico. This was off the coast, and it just happened within the last 45 minutes or so. So that's what we have there. Now I'm going to go back here in just a minute. I'm going to go back here in just a few minutes, actually. And I'm going to show you some more seismograms of Cascadia. But first, I want to pinpoint earthquakes that we need to be paying attention to throughout the world, because these earthquakes are going to be responsible for other earthquakes that are going to happen in the coming days and even probably within the next week. All right. Again, we'll go back down and we'll briefly show you what is going on down in the South Pacific. As I stated before, we had that large earthquake over here in the Fiji Islands here. Let me get out my pen and show you, point to where these are. Okay. But USGS did not tell us about this. Oh, yes, they did. I'm sorry, they did. That was over in the Solomon Islands today. That was the 4.9, 5.0 in the Solomon Islands. Then we had all these earthquakes down here in New Zealand. New Zealand was pretty much hammered today from north to south, even considering north of their country out in the ocean. We had a 4.59 north of New Zealand out there, again, right on the fault line, right on the fault line. This other one is right between the faults, a 2.27 there. Then back here on the fault, another earthquake, a 2.52. This is the Bay of Plenty, folks. This is the location of White Island. So this is almost directly northwest of White Island here, a 2.52. Then over on the North Island, I'm only going to show you a few earthquakes here because it matters. Just north of Topo Volcano, we have a 2.21 earthquake there. Topo Volcano is right there. It's a super volcano in Indonesia. Okay, that's why I wanted to point that out. Southeast of there, we have a 2.37. And southwest of there, we have a 2.56. Okay, we want to keep an eye on this. Okay, I'm not saying Topo is going to go because we don't have any information that Topo is even rumbling. Occasionally it does, but we're seeing earthquakes around Topo, and that's why we're pointing it out to you. That's why we're pointing it out. Over on the South Island, we've had 3 earthquakes over there. I'm just going to briefly touch on that. Over on the north end of the South Island, we have a 3.46. Near the north central part of the island, we have a 3.21. And these are right on the fault zone. Right on the fault zone on the west side of the island, a 2.9. A 2.9. Now, when you get down in this area, there are a lot of volcanoes in this area. A lot of volcanism is going on down here. Anyway, that's in New Zealand. New Zealand. I told you that there was a lot of activity in central Indonesia. Here it is, folks. There it is. Again, our own agency here in the United States does not tell you about it. Over in Wama, Indonesia, we had a 5.0, and it was out to sea. It was out to sea. I believe this is the Seram Sea there. And around it, we had a 4.5, 4.3, 3.9. The 3.9 was the aftershock of the 5.0 here in central Indonesia. Then further south in southern Java, we have 2 earthquakes, a 4.0 and a 2.90. A 4.0 and a 2.90 there in southern Java. Going further north of Jakarta, 4.5 Sumatra. I'm sorry I did that. 4.5 in Sumatra. And just north of there, we had a 3.7 in Mentawai region, Indonesia. Mentawai region, Indonesia. North of there, up into Burma, we have a cache of earthquakes there we want to briefly touch on. 1, we have a 2.7 magnitude earthquake. We have 2.4. We have a 3.0 and a 1.6. And then, like I said, we have a 5.0 up here in south central China, Zhejiang, China. Tajikistan, I told you about this earlier, 4 there. 4.2, I'm sorry, 4.2. Over in Khorasan, just north of Iraq, we have a 3.1. Then in Iraq, we have a 2.6, a 2.7, and a 3.1 in Western Iraq today. Let's move over. In Turkey, we've got 3.2s, 3.0s, and then we have a good sized swarm of earthquakes over here in central Turkey. These are 2.2s, 2.2s. I just tapped on the 10.1. It fanned out. We do have a lot of earthquakes still. I'm just going to tap some of them. 2.6, 2.6, 2.5, 2.0s. Okay, these are just minor quakes. They're in central Turkey. In northern Turkey, we have a 2.3 there. And look at it, it's right on the fault. These are on a fault down here in southern Turkey. This is in northern Turkey. It's still on the northern part of the craton there. Part of the craton. In northwestern Turkey, a 2.1, Kamkuri, and Ankara, Turkey, the capital of Turkey, we have another 2.1 there as well. Over in western Turkey, we have a large swarm of earthquakes in western Turkey, 2.6s, 2.3s, 3.8s, 2.1s, 2.9s, 2.6s, 2.3s, that kind of thing. 2s and 3s all through this huge swarm. And the swarm continues. The swarm continues way south in Turkey. Okay. Now I want to show you this because this is in western Turkey. This is a 2.3 right along the coast, the Mediterranean coast there in Turkey. Then on the southern part there, we also have a 3.0. 3.0 there. Now we go out into the Mediterranean. The Eastern Mediterranean, we had a 3.8, a 2.4, a 1.1, and a 1.0. There's the 3.8 right there. Now these are actually part of the Dokkanese Islands. Now these earthquakes are probably aftershocks of the 5.3 we had here just a few days ago. Just north of Crete, we have a 0.9. Here's Crete here and 0.9 there. Then we go up into Greece, and we see quite a big swarm of earthquakes. Quite a big swarm. Let's go in and take a look at some of those. Again, I won't go into all of them. Central Greece around the Aegean Sea, we have a 1.1. Patros, we have a 0.89, 1.0, 1.1, 1.0 at Miscellany, Greece. Okay, this is all All these are around the Aegean Sea here, right in the middle of Greece. Okay, that's what's going on there. Then as we go west, we have a 2.8 up here in northern Greece, 1.4 just south of there. And then let's go over here to the islands of Zakynthos. We have a 1.9 in the western islands off of western Greece. All right, over in southern Italy, Calabria, Italy, we have a 2.3. 2.3 there. Down here in Sicily, we still have Stromboli volcano and Etna volcano that are erupting. And Etna is putting on a show down there. Strombolian eruptions out of Mount Etna down here in Sicily. Just so you know. Okay. Over in the sea, just north of, in the Adriatic Sea, just north of Italy, north and well, almost directly north of Italy, we have a 2.7 and another 2.7. That's just north of Italy in the Adriatic Sea. Central Italy, Abruzzo, Italy, we have a 2.0. Almost directly in line with the 2.7s in the Adriatic. Then we go up to northern Italy, right along the Swiss border. We have a 1.7. 1.7 there. Then let's go further north, over to the Czech Republic. We have a 2.8. A 2.8. Now, why are we getting earthquakes up here? Okay. Can you remember the earthquakes that we've had over in Albania and Greece and Turkey? All that energy is going north and west. It's going to continue going north and west along that craton. That's where it ended today, is in the Czech Republic. It's right along the craton. That's why it got hit today. There's nothing over in France. Completely chilled in France. We go down to northeastern Spain. We have a 1.6 and a 1.9 in northeastern Spain today. We drop down here to Algeria. We have a 2.4. North part of Africa, Algeria, 2.4. Then, just east of Gibraltar, we have a 2.6. Just east of Gibraltar, we have a 2.6. Nothing else in Spain or Portugal. It's quiet. Yesterday, we had earthquakes over here in the Azores, but there's nothing in the Azores. However, don't count your chickens before they hatch. The Canary Islands, we've got a 2.5 and a 3.0 in the Canary Islands. I'm sorry, there we go. 2.5 and a 3.0 in the Canary Islands today. Okay, just off the northwest coast of Africa, the Canary Islands. Now we're not done with the Atlantic Ocean, folks. Over the James Ridge, we have a 4.6 up here, and they call it the James Ridge because it's south of Greenland and Iceland. Over here is Iceland, but it's on the North Mid-Atlantic Fault, the fracture zone in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Then we go up further north towards Iceland. Iceland got hit by a 3.3 today. South Iceland got hit by a 3.3. Now we're going to watch and see what happens with this moderate energy right here over on the North Mid-Atlantic Fault. Let's see what happens once it gets up here to Iceland, because the the energy is still traveling north, and it's going to go right up here into Iceland. Okay, so that's what we have there. We don't have any more activity on the South Atlantic Ridge, not at all. Nothing there. However, like I said, there was activity over in South America, in Chile. I'm going to show you that now. I showed you just a minute ago that there was no activity reported by USGS. Look at the activity in South America here. Let's talk about that. Over in South Central Chile, San Juan Province, Argentina, right along the border with Chile. San Juan Province, Argentina, we have a 3.6. Just north of there. Also in Salta Province, we have a 3.5. Again, right along the border with Chile, Salta Province. We have a 3.5, a 3.4 there, and also another 3.4. 3 earthquakes, 3.5s and 2 3.4s, right along the border with Chile and Argentina. Okay, let's go further north. Arequipa, Peru, just north of Chile. Arequipa, Peru, we have a 3.4 today. Not to be outdone, we have a 4.0 in central Peru, along the coast. A 4.0 along the coast of Peru. All right, let's go north. Northern Peru, Tumbres, Peru, we have a 4.1 today. A 4.1 in northern Peru. And that's all in South America. We have nothing in Venezuela or Colombia. That's all in South America. It was right along the western coast of South America today, from central Chile all the way up to northern Peru. And we reported to you already in the Galapagos Islands, we have that 4.6 off the coast of Ecuador in the Galapagos Islands. We spoke to you already about the earthquakes in the Cayman Islands and Puerto Rico today. Let's go over to Central America. Central America, we had a 3.1 down here in South Costa Rica. South Costa Rica. Then up here in the northern part of Nicaragua, we have a 4.2. Let's continue going north. We've got activity up here off of Guatemala. Okay, again, this activity off of Guatemala was out in the ocean. And this includes a large earthquake, a 5.4 off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico. Off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico. We also had a 5.0 off the coast of Guatemala, and they've taken it down. So they took that Guatemalan earthquake down. Yes, it was off the coast, but anyway, they're reporting a 4.0 over there. And this 4.0 is probably an aftershock of the 5.0 that was here. Then, like I said, off the coast of South America, we have a 5.0. Not South America, I'm sorry, Mexico. 5.0 off the south coast of Mexico. And it also is right on the fault zone. This is the lower part, the Mexican part of the San Andreas Fault. The Mexican part of the San Andreas Fault. We have 4.1s here, 4.0s, 3.9s, 4.0s, 4.1s, all part of that 5.4 off the coast of Chiapas, Mexico. Okay. And you'll notice that the earthquakes on land virtually stopped. This whole area is usually packed with earthquakes, 3s and 4s throughout this huge area. This large 5.4 off the coast of Mexico caught all the energy. That's where the fault caught all the energy. And it stayed there. Yes, we have earthquakes off the coast, 3.7 going further north. Then we have a small 10 plus swarm over here. Let's address that. Just to hit a few here just to let you know about that. 3.6, 3.6, 3.7, 4.4. That large earthquake didn't stop all of the energy, but the energy continued north. So we had 3s and 4s up here in southern Mexico. Continuing north, Osaka, Mexico, 3.3, 3.4, 3.2s along the coast there. Up north of there, we have a 3.4, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the Mexican name to that location. Tepelmeme. Tepelmeme. Something like that. Anyway, we have 3s, mid-range 3s all along the coast here. And as we come up to oh gosh, what is it called? Puerto Vallarta. Just inland from Puerto Vallarta, we have a 3.2 in Guerrero, Mexico. There's Puerto Vallarta there. All right, let's continue this. We go north. We have a good sized swarm of earthquakes up here in north central Mexico. Okay, I'm just going to go briefly and hit them. 3.7, 3.7, 3.8, 3.8, 3.8, mid to upper range 3s. Mid to upper range 3s, but it's swarming. It's swarming there. We continue up there, going north. We have another 3.5 near the coast. Then inland from there, going north, we have a 3.7. And then as we go up towards, well, actually, that was Acapulco that I pointed out just a few minutes ago. This is Puerto Vallarta here. We have a 4.2 at Puerto Vallarta here. The other place was Acapulco. My bad. And now we go up into the entrance of the Gulf of California. We have another earthquake, this time also on the San Andreas Fault in the Gulf. We have a 3.8. 3.8 there. Now we don't have any other earthquakes until we get down here into Southern California, and we have 50 earthquakes down here in Southern California that we want to talk about. Okay, that's a lot of earthquakes in Southern California there. Before we do that, let's go down to the land of Aloha. Actually, north to the land of Aloha. Off the coast of Pahala, Hawaii, we have a 1.96. 1.96 off the coast here. No, I don't. I was trying to find out if there was uh, a undersea seamount there, and I don't see it there. But we go up to Pahala. We're still seeing a good sized swarm of earthquakes, Pahala. All of these are due to infilling to Kilauea. Okay. Just off the coast, a 2.53, on land, a 2.16, 2.31. Then we have 10 plus earthquakes here. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 17 earthquakes here, maybe a few more than that. These are 1.87, 2.13, 1.98, 1.97, 2.31, 1.87, 2.11 around Pahala. This again is due to infilling to Kilauea volcano. Kilauea volcano. Now, let's go over to Kilauea. Just on the north rim of Kilauea, we have a 1.86 on the north rim of Kilauea today. Then, just north of there, north and west of there, I should say, we have a 1.83. Now, this, I wanted to show you again where that, this is a geothermal power plant. And this is east, northeast of where that earthquake is here. So we had an earthquake, a mid-range one here on the north rim of Kilauea. Way out here, we had another one there, and we have no other earthquakes that are either around Kilauea or out in the east rift zone. Nothing there. They're all down to Pahala. They're all down Pahala. Nothing on the east rift zone at all. However, that's not all, folks. There's more. There's more. Over on the southern flank of Mauna Loa, a 2.29 on the south flank of Mauna Loa today. South flank of Mauna Loa. And actually, there were two earthquakes there. One is a 2.28 and the other one's a 2.29 on the southern flank of Mauna Loa today. Okay, that's what happened there. Then over on the north side of the Big Island, on the coast, Pipikio, Hawaii, a 1.79. Pipikio, 1.79 on the north part of the Big Island. Okay, then we come over here to the nearby island of Keokia. Keokia, Hawaii, we have a 2.81. Okay, let me show you where the Big Island, there's the Big Island, and then the island directly north and west is Keokia. We have a 2.81 magnitude earthquake there. Now I'm going to look here. I didn't have a chance to look when I was right before I came on the program today. I was just looking for a lava flow there, and I don't see it. I do see an old cone. There's an old, or not cone, but a crater, an old crater there. And that's north of the earthquake. But that's what that is. So we had our first earthquake in quite some time that was not on the Big Island. This is a low range 2, a 2 point, actually not low range, upper range 2, 2.81 north of the Big Island out here. So we have that. We have that. That was just a minor earthquake there. Now I'm going to take you up to Alaska. Really nothing on the Aleutian Island chain, but we have earthquakes over there on the southern peninsula. Let's take a look at that. Sandpoint, Alaska, we have a 3.6. 3.6 there. Going north, we have a good bunch of earthquakes here. A good swarm going right up into Anchorage there. Let's take a look at that real quick. Old Ilama volcano. Old Ilama volcano. We have a cluster of earthquakes there. We have a 1.5, 1.9, 2.3, 2.1, and a 1.8. We have a small cluster of earthquakes right around Old Ilama volcano here. Okay, let's go north. North, young man. Mount Redoubt, Alaska. Redoubt volcano. We've got a 2.4 there. Just north of there, we have a 1.8. Two earthquakes in relationship to Mount Redoubt. Out in the Cook Inlet, we have numerous earthquakes, 1.70, 1.7, 1.6. Going north up the peninsula, we have a 0.9, and they are affiliating this also with Mount Redoubt. It's 22 miles northeast of Mount Redoubt up here. So we actually had 3 earthquakes affiliated with Mount Redoubt today. Okay, then we go north. Nikiski, Alaska, west and south of Anchorage, a 1.8. Then we go up towards Anchorage. Big Lake, Alaska is a 2.1, and just north of Anchorage, we have a 1.6. 2.1 or 1.6 just north of Anchorage today, Big Lake, Alaska. Okay. We have some earthquakes just north and east of there. 1.6, 1.8, 1.4, 1.4, going northwest up to Willow, Alaska, 1.8, 2.4, 1.9. Then just outside Mount McKinley, right here, we have a 2.4 there. But what's going on at Mount McKinley? There's one earthquake there. Let's go find out. Here we have a 1.7 right near the summit of Mount McKinley. Right near the summit of Mount McKinley. North of Denali, we have 1.4s, 1.4, 0.7, 0.7 there. Okay, but they stop. We don't have any earthquakes up here north of the Arctic Circle. North of the Arctic Circle here, we have nothing. Okay, not a thing. And we don't have any earthquakes at Kobuk, Alaska, where we had that 6.3 this time last year. However, Shishmaref, Alaska, on that spit of land, we have a 4.0 today again. We've had 2s, 3s, and 4s now at Shishmaref, Alaska. Looks like a great big hand right there. Looks like a great big hand right here with the finger pointing out. Shishmaref, Alaska, 4.0. Okay, let's go down to the United States, back to Washington State. We have a 1.49 at Entiat, 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 Alaska. I think that's how they pronounce, or not Alaska, I'm sorry, Washington. Entiat, Washington. 1.49 there. But they don't have anything else in Washington or Oregon. But I have some seismos I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay. We don't have any other earthquakes until we get down here to California. But I have some seismos. Before we leave the Washington or north part of the United States, Dillon, Montana, they're only reporting one earthquake, a 1.74 Dillon, Montana, which is in the Yellowstone magma chamber area, Dillon, Montana. Okay. Okay. Before we talk about these other earthquakes in California, and yes, they are important. Yes, they are important. I want to show you some earthquakes. All right. Where do I want to go here? Hold on just a minute. I'm going to find out where we want to go here. Just a second here. Okay, that's what we want to do. Great, 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 great. Okay, the first earthquake or first seismo I want to show you. The first seismo I want to show you is over at Mount Rainier. Look at the activity here at Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier here, we have magma infilling going on. All this magma infilling going on. Okay, then we drop down here just a little bit, and we are getting steam episodes. Steam episodes. They go up and they go back down here. Okay, and these are more defined down here. You're going to see this. They go up and they go back down and kind of curlicue out. These are steam episodes. Mount Rainier is steaming. Okay, these are small here. These are larger episodes here. Okay, that's what's going on there. And that's not all. There's more. This is also Mount Rainier. This is coming from Rainier Voigt Creek. Rainier Voigt Creek. And you can definitely see the steam episodes here. Look at all these steam episodes all around. And it's Mount Rainier steaming. Look at all these. It goes down. And down here we have magma infilling going on. We have magma infilling going on. This is the, let me just double check my information. This is magma infilling going on as well. I believe this is Mount St. Helens, where this is showing. Okay. I had this all lined out, and I moved my paperwork around here. Okay. Then come over here. This is EDO, $3 Lake, I believe it's called. And you notice the magma infill here. You have a small quake here. All this is magma infill here. This is Tom, Dick, and Harry. This is over by Mount Hood. Okay. This is by Mount Hood. This was earlier this afternoon. Look at all the magma infilling going on here. This is Mount Hood. That was earlier this afternoon. And this is what's going on presently. 1600 is 4 p.m. Pacific time. You see these thick lines. This is magma infill going on here. 1600, 1700, 8 p.m. Excuse me, 1800, which is 6 p.m. We started the program at 1700 Pacific time, and you see the infilling going on here. That is Mount Hood. Okay, I wanted to show you those. Okay, we do have magma infilling going on, and there are other seismos that we're going to show you tomorrow night. There are other seismos that we're going to show you tomorrow night. But that gives you an idea of what's going on there. Okay. Now, we are not through showing you earthquakes. We have quite a few more earthquakes to show you here. Let's go down to California, Northern California. Okay. The geysers. We have earthquakes going on here at the geysers, a man-made geothermal power plant here. Gosh, what's it drop here? South of the geysers here at Pleasant Hill, we have a 1.3. Then just east and south of the Bay Area, over by Monterey Bay, just east of Monterey Bay, we have Tres Pinos. We have Tres Pinos. And it's right on the San Andreas Fault. Right on the San Andreas Fault. South of there, also on the fault, Parkfield, California, is 0.54. Right on the fault, Parkfield, California, the earthquake capital of California, on the San Andreas. Over on the coast, San Simeon, just like we had the other night, a 1.95 San Simeon along the Interstate 5 corridor there. I'm sorry, not Interstate 5, Interstate 101, Pacific Coast Highway, San Simeon. Now, before I continue going south, I want to go back up to Truckee, California, because we've had earthquakes around Tahoe Vista area. Truckee, California came in today. That was a 0.9. East of there, Fernley, Nevada, 0.5. Then let's drop down here south. Hawthorne, Nevada, 2.9. Then, guess where we're going now? Mammoth. Mammoth Mountain, folks. Mammoth Mountain, 1.18, 1.29, 1.88, 1.9. We have a cluster of earthquakes, all related to Mammoth. South of there, Tom's Place, a 1.59. It's related to Mammoth as well. Okay, wanted to show you that. Then we drop down to Lone Pine, California, 1.3. Things have quieted down a little bit. Things have quieted down in Southern California in the desert area. Olancha, California, 65 miles north of Ridgecrest. Olancha, California today. Olancha, California had a 1.06. Cozo Junction had several earthquakes, 1.36, 10 or 1.01. Further south, again, right along the same area where we had earthquakes before. Last year during June, July, or actually April to July, right before Ridgecrest, Little Lake, 0.54, 0.61. Ridgecrest, 1.6. Still getting beat up there. Searles Valley, 2.65 today. .24. I'm not hitting them all. I'm just showing you what's going on here. 1.94. And here's a 0.95 in Searles Valley. We're not quite seeing what we saw right before and after Ridgecrest, but there are earthquakes still happening over there in the Mojave Desert. In the Mojave Desert. All right. We go down over on the Garlock, Boron, California, 1.89. Johannesburg, California usually gets hit. Hasn't gotten hit in the last few days, but Boron, California did. Drop down here to Tehachapi. Tehachapi, California, 1.03 today. Barstow, 1.53 and a 1.59 earthquake. Barstow, California got hit. The last time I checked earthquakes over here in Barstow, and one earthquake was right directly underneath the shopping mall. These are nowhere near Barstow. They're out in the countryside north of Barstow. 8 miles northeast of Barstow. And 14 miles north of Barstow. Okay, they're nowhere near populated areas. And they're only ones. They're only ones. Going back towards LA, Wrightwood, California, 1.73. And it's on the fault. Wrightwood, California is right on the fault. San Andreas. Going in towards Los Angeles, Villa Park, we have a 1.67. 1.67. Okay, let's go east. Mentone, California, 0.54. Now we're coming into all the quakes, folks. Remember the 50 earthquakes that I saw here? Let's go in here and check them out. Yucaipa, 1.49. Garnett, California, 0.65, 2.46. Marietta Hot Springs, Orange County, California. Marietta Hot Springs got hit today. That was a 0.85. Palm Springs got hit, 0.92. Indio, California was hit by a 0.98. And someone might ask, why is Ron pointing out all these minor earthquakes? Because the minor earthquakes turn into something here. That's why we do that. Idlewild, California got hit, 0.59. Right here is Idlewild, California. Nice little tourist trap, especially in the winter. Ski season, restaurants, small shops to go spend your money in. Great place. Tourist trap. Anza Gap, folks. The Anza Gap got hit. Okay, let's take a quick look around. 0.73, 0.11, 0.36, 0.27, 0.53 in Lake Henshaw, California, just east of Escondido. The earthquakes go down towards Lake Henshaw. They go down out of the Anza Gap into Aguanga, California, just on the other side of the Riverside San Diego border, Aguanga, California, drop down into Lake Henshaw, east of Escondido. Anza Gap, folks. Quite a few earthquakes over there in the Anza Gap area. And they continue right up to the San Diego County border. Now let's go into North San Diego County. We're still getting 0.40s. Warner Springs out in northeast San Diego County. Warner Springs got hit, 0.77. Julian, California, Apple capital of San Diego. Julian, California was hit today with, come on, it keeps clearing up, 0.93 in Julian. Out in the mountains just east of San Diego City in the East County area. Okay. San Marcos, California, North San Diego County. San Marcos, California got hit today. San Marcos, California, I don't think I've seen an earthquake there. This is a 0.70, a minor quake in San Marcos, California today. Minor quake there. Then let's go out again, Borrego Springs, North San Diego County, 0.86. A 1.17 in Borrego. Ocotillo Wells, just on the east side of the Chocolate Mountains, we have a 1.51, a 1.01. Then we go and drop into the desert, Ocotillo, a 1.68 today. Then the Salton Sea, folks, just south of the Salton Sea. What do we have here? Nyland, California. We got a 1.26 there. Sorry. There it is, Nyland, California, 1.26. And then just south of there, in Calipatria, we have a 1.34. A 1.34. Calipatria, folks, is where the geothermal power operation is, over here near the Salton Sea. I'm going to locate that power plant here so you can see it. Here you go. There's the turbines for that geothermal power plant. Calipatria, California. And look where the earthquake is, just north of the power plant. Just north of the power plant. And there's the Salton Sea, so you see how close it is. That's what happened today in Southern California. All right, there's a few more earthquakes we want to talk about. Just a few more here. All right, over in northeastern Nevada, Pinoche, Nevada, just west of the Utah border. Pinoche, Nevada, 1.10. That's for starters. 1.10, 1.10, 1.10, and 1.0. 4 earthquakes, 4 ones right there in Pinoche, just west of the Utah border. Then we have 3 more just south and west of that. We have a 3.6, a 3.7, and a 1.8. The first set of 3 were here. The next set of 3 are right here. Fascinating, huh? But today we had no earthquakes in Utah. And usually we have 1 or 2 minor earthquakes. 1 or 2 minor. Over here in Mentone, Texas, we have a 2.7 in Mentone, Texas, right in the middle of an oil and gas pumping operation right here, Mentone, Texas. Okay, let's go over to central United States. Oklahoma, 2.46 in Buffalo, Oklahoma. Just south of there, also in Buffalo, a 2.09. 2.09. Just south of there, Moreland, Oklahoma, 1.92. Just east of there, Helena, Oklahoma, we have a 2.17. I'm sorry. There we go, 2.17. And we have a few more down here south of there, Blanchard, Oklahoma, we have a 2.1. Then we have 3 earthquakes. almost right together. Chickasha, Oklahoma, 1.45. Neenaka, Oklahoma, we have a 2.64 and a 1.6 at Chickasha. Chickasha. Love Chickasha. Then further east, Quinton, Oklahoma, and Quinton always gets hit, or almost always gets hit. This was a 1.70 earthquake in Quinton, Oklahoma today. Every one of these earthquakes in Oklahoma were in oil and gas pumping operations. This one in Mentone, Texas, oil and gas pumping operation. That's what happened there. Then, also not on USGS, today in Pennsylvania, on the northeast part of the craton, Dover, Pennsylvania had a 1.80. Not on the US feed though. Dover, Pennsylvania got hit. Then my friend Brad called me today from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and told me about this earthquake. And yes, I'd known about it, but he told me about this. This was in Ontario, Canada, a 4.0 magnitude earthquake. Where did it come from? For the first time in my years of doing this, I don't know where this 4.0 came from. It didn't come along the craton like the others have, because we've not had 4.0 activity down here on the northeastern part of the craton, and we haven't had 4.0 activity here in the central United States. And we haven't had 4.0 activity over in California. So I'm not sure where this 4.0 in Northern Ontario came from. For the first time, I'm mystified. I'm going to have to look and find out where it came from. I have not researched it yet. I've been very busy putting all this other information together so we could talk, so you would understand what is going on. Okay. So now you've seen the earthquakes all around the world, here in the United States, in California, Hawaii, and up into Washington State. I showed you the seismos around Mount St. Helens. I showed the seismos at Mount Rainier and Mount Hood. We have a lot of magma infill going on. That's what's really happening. Okay. Yeah, someone must have used an excessive amount of tannerite. Yeah. All of a sudden, these pine trees up there simultaneously just explode. No, I don't think it came across westbound from Iceland. I don't think that happened. I will research it, and I'll try to find an answer for you. I just don't have the answer right now. There were some 2s and 3s over in Yellowstone. I didn't see a 4.4. I didn't see that in Yellowstone. I've seen some 2s and 3s. We haven't had a 4 in Yellowstone in quite some time, several months. So folks, I'm coming back to you guys. I'm over here in chat. For those of you that are monitoring the YouTube chat, the chat over in Twitch, the chat over on DLive and Pandora and others. Yeah, we do have all those that are active. We have quite a few people monitoring our program from those venues, and we appreciate it. If you guys have information for us or questions, please forward them over here to Melissa, and Melissa will forward them to me, and Red Gypsy as well. Red Gypsy, it's good to see you, my friend. Red Gypsy has a show here on the Freedom Revolution Network. She's a great lady, and she has a lot of wonderful information on her show. And I encourage you to watch that show. Any questions, folks? I have not seen that article. I'm going to have to go take a look at it. C2 by 2 just posted an article here on chat. I'm going to have to look it up. It's from Fox News about a mysterious light that streaked over the sky of Southern California. It doesn't totally surprise me. We've had meteors and meteorites that have streaked across the desert in Southern California before. I have in fact had tiny meteorites that I have found out in the desert, out in the mountains of Southern California when I was exploring out there too. A negotiator can probably tell you about those as well. He's seen that kind of stuff as well. Red Gypsy, you're all right. I love you too. They're trying to say it was space junk. With anymore, that wouldn't surprise me. They're saying it's space junk. Why would that not surprise me? Look what happened just 2 days ago. We had two US satellites that are not even in use anymore. They died a long time ago, traveling 32,000 miles an hour that came within, I think, 45 yards of each other. That's awful close for space junk. If those two satellites had collided, it would have littered the entire satellite area in space where we plant satellites. Every satellite we own and that anybody else has too would have probably been in danger if those two satellites had collided. That was the closest near miss that they've had with satellites. And it happened Friday night, Saturday morning. Doesn't surprise me at all, though. And yes, I was monitoring space Friday night, Saturday morning, because I was concerned they would hit. And some scientists thought so too. And Pamela, yes, some of these satellites have decaying orbits, and especially these two. They've been dead for years. One was launched, I believe, in 1969, and the other was launched in 1989. Neither one have been operational for a long, long time. It's unreal. BJ's talking about here in chat. He's talking about a hill where the ground in town has been percolating and going down the alleys and out on the pavement, streaming down the hill. And you guys have been 24 hours without rain. Sounds like something's coming out of the ground. Has BJ, have the authorities said what it is? Red Gypsy, I'm going to do that. I'm going to join you one of these days here, maybe this week. I'm going to try to join you this week, Red. That'd be great. I would love to be on your show. That would be fun. Red just welcomed me to join her on her show. That's cool. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. Yeah, Pam, it's good to see you too. I didn't tell Pam hello earlier, only because we had gotten into talking about the virus, and also we got to talking about earthquakes. But we have about 11 minutes left of the program now, and I just wanted to go back and take any questions, and if you guys had any questions. That's one of the things I enjoy doing towards the end of the program, is answering questions from you guys. I don't want to ever forget which side of the bread my butter's on. You guys have a lot of great information. Melissa, your app is set to alert you 5.0. Yeah, mine are set to alert me at 5.0 and above too, except nearby. If it's an earthquake nearby me, I've got it set for 2.5. Work comes first. I totally understand. Work does come first. We also want to thank everybody that has been donating to us, to our program here on the Freedom Revolution. We really appreciate it. All that, all that, all those donations come, and we put it towards bettering the program and bringing you the best information we possibly can. We have another piece of equipment that's supposed to be here within the next 2 weeks. Can't wait. It's going to significantly improve our program, and we'll talk about it when we get it hooked up. It's going to be great. Yes, red is goat crazy. Red is goat crazy, and that's just fine. Red can be goat crazy. That's good. Nothing wrong with that. My father raised goats. All of his goats loved him. They loved him. He'd put his hand out like this, and they'd come butt his hand. They'd headbutt his hand. That was their way of saying hello. And they wanted to be scratched behind their ears and play with my father. It was fun. Those days were fun. 2C by2 says he's 2 goats past normal. I love it. That's cool. That's cool. I think our father had 5 or 6 goats, and then he had one or two of them had been pregnant over the years, and he had kids and sold those kids to other people and gave families some of those kids too. It was fun. It was fun. And just to give you an idea what kind of man my father was, when one of the goats had babies, he brought the kids into their home. And my mom had a freaking fit. They didn't like dogs in the house, but they did let their German Shepherd Coyote mix into the house, especially when it was really bad weather. So the dog would have someplace nice and warm to be. And also when there was a lot of fireworks going off, she was scared of fireworks. They brought her in the house for that too. But my dad brought in these goats, these baby goats. And when they started piddling on my mom's carpet, meaning these little black tiny marbles, the little goat poops, my mom had a fit. She went ballistic. Ted, you get those goats out of my house. That was hilarious. Red Gypsy has 30 goats, everyone. Fun, fun, fun. 30 mouths to feed during the winter months. I hear you. It's wild. It's wild. Anyway, folks, it's been a pleasure. Mini berries, 2C by2 says. Mini berries, yes, goat berries. Yeah. Anyway, it's always a pleasure to be here with you folks. I love being here, um, giving you the information you need. We're going to keep you up to date when it comes to the coronavirus. We are paying close, especially close attention. I have several applications on my phone that let me know about the coronavirus and what is going on. My dear friend's surgery gives me updated information almost on the hour of what he finds. And I have several other apps that are giving me information. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, Red Gypsy says the goats provide milk, which gives us cheese and butter fudge. Yes, absolutely. We had goat cheese. Loved it. Loved the taste of goat cheese. It's great. We never ate the goats. Red Gypsy said they provide meat. We never did that, but we had goat cheese and goat milk and fun with the other animals. We had bunnies, we had goats. I think we had a pig at one time. Um, I forget all the animals we've had throughout the years. I used to raise bunnies. Barb, I'll check that email. I'm sorry I wasn't able to check it before I went on, but I will check it just as soon as I get out of here. I've got 5 more minutes left here. I appreciate you guys sending me emails too, folks. Darn it. I forgot to bring that card. Got a card from one of our dear listeners that sent us a donation and a beautiful card, very spiritual card. And I really appreciate it. We all do. My wife loved it. But please keep the cards and letters coming. We love cards and letters. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. But thank you for that too. The cards and letters are just great. Lift the spirits, make me want to keep on hammering on this, getting you the information you guys need. Tomorrow, we hope to have Terry Rumpel back on, where we'll be talking about seismos and earthquakes and what is going on with Cascadia. Yes, I put that. Someone just asked me about the Cascadia Mountains venting. It was Mount Rainier venting. We did put that on the other day, this past week, showing you Mount Rainier venting. Yes, Mount Baker was very active today. Mount Baker was very active today. Rainier was active, Mount Baker was active, Mount St. Helens was active, the Three Sisters was active, Mount Hood was active. They've all got magma infill. They all have magma infill. Yes, I hope to have Terry coming back. I'm going to try to call him first thing in the morning and talk with him. But we hope to have him back. Anyway, folks, it's getting that time. We really appreciate all of you that have joined us here. Thank you for joining us in chat and on the other channels where we're at. We will be posting these videos on the Emergency Management Associates channel. I gave the information to Melissa, and the video should be posted on the EMA channel as well very shortly. YouTube, Google gave Melissa a bad time today, and she and I are going to get that worked out. So the videos will be posted on the EMA channel, and you guys will have that too. We're going to be taking those videos and also posting them to Facebook tonight on our personal Facebook page and our Emergency Management Associates page as well. We're also going to be posting those over on our EMA website as well. We want you to know that too. But anyway, we thank you for being here with us tonight. on the Emergency Management Associates Preparedness Show. We thank you for being here. God bless. Do know that we love you so very, very much. As Walter Cronkite would say, and that's the way it is. Sunday, February 2nd, 2020, 02022020. Have a great night, folks. We will see you tomorrow. If anything else happens, we will be coming back on the air and bringing the information to you live as soon as the information presents itself. Have a great night, folks. Thank you so much. See you soon.